watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Royal Opera House Muscat staged its first exclusive production under the title Oman Celebrations The Great Journey. And Russia orders its aircraft carrier to leave the conflict zone in Syria. Those were the headlines, and now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Majesty Akihito, Emperor of Japan, on the 28th anniversary of his assumption of the throne. Royal Opera House Muscat staged its first exclusive production under the title Oman Celebrations The Great Journey from the 6th to 7th of January, and last night's show was presided over by His Highness Sayyid Haytham bin Tariq Al Said, Minister of Heritage and Culture. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al Rubai.
Royal Opera House Muscat is proudly presenting its very own production entitled Celebrating Oman, The Great Journey. This groundbreaking production, consisting of a series of vivid musical tableaux representing different aspects of life in Oman, that is taking the audience on an incredible expedition through Oman's rich history, nature, seafarers, traditions and cultural heritage. Combining great music with the dazzling lights and sound shows, Celebrating Oman, The Great Journey has been specially produced to be part of the Oman celebrations of its blessed Renaissance under the prudent leadership of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said. It also significantly coincides with the exceptional 5th season and anniversary of Royal Opera House Muscat and reaffirms its success in attracting both local and international audience. It also confirms the reputation that Royal Opera House Muscat has managed to build over the years as one of the finest opera houses and music halls around the world, as well as cultural beacon and a bridge for cross-cultural dialogue. This show of particular interest is the Royal Opera House Muscat's first major in-house production. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al Rubai, Sultanate of Oman Television.
Oman oil price March 2017 delivery reached $54.98. Dubai Mercantile Exchange today said that the price of Oman oil rose 38% from the price of yesterday. The average price of Oman oil January 2017 delivery has stabilized at $44.54, thus $4.64 per barrel lower than December 2016 delivery. Discover the Beauty of Oman by Your Motorcycle is a journey around the governorates conducted by a group of bikers. The team is formed by more than 150 bikers from the GCC and a number of other Arab countries. A Bri Bikers team hosted Muscat Bikers Club and introduced them to the heritage and touristic potentials in the governorate of Al-Dhahra. This event aimed to promote tourism in the Sultanate, in addition to contributing to the economy of the nation, besides strengthening relations between GCC and Arab countries. The reverse osmosis process in water desalination is one of the processes used by the Sultanate. Due to the importance of this sector, many desalination plants are constructed to supply potable water to residents in the coastal areas of the Sultanate. Most up-to-date equipment are used to ensure the quality and purity of water to keep up the standard at the world level. This kind of process is accomplished through 4 stages, where seawater is treated using latest technologies to achieve an optimal result, and it is notable that many citizens are employed in these plants to follow up the process. Still to come in our news bulletin. Prices of Myanmar gems are expected to surge after the US lifted a ban on imports in October. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Russia's military today said it has begun scaling back its deployment to Syria, with Moscow's sole aircraft carrier ordered to leave the conflict zone first. Military Chief Valery Gerasimov gave the command for the naval group headed by aircraft carrier Admiral Kuznetsov, which also includes the nuclear-powered Pyotr Veliki battlecruiser and the Severomorsk destroyer, to begin preparations immediately to return to its home port in the Arctic Circle. The Kuznetsov arrived off Syria in November as Russia boosted its firepower on land and in the Mediterranean to support regime forces targeting the second city of Aleppo. Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered a reduction in his forces in Syria on December 29th, as he announced a ceasefire between government and rebel forces that has since dampened down the fighting. A car bomb tore through a Baghdad market, killing at least 9 people in what appeared to be the latest in a series of deadly attacks by the Daesh group. The car was parked near an outdoor fruit and vegetable market in a neighborhood. The police and medical officials said that 7 civilians and 2 policemen were killed, while at least 15 other people were wounded. Daesh group has managed to carry out a series of attacks across Iraq, while also putting up stiff resistance in the northern city of Mosul, where US-backed Iraqi forces have been waging a massive offensive since mid-October. The US House of Representatives voted to condemn a UN resolution reprimanding Israel over its settlement activity, blasting last month's move by the international body as an obstacle to Israeli-Palestinian peace. The congressional measure passed 342 to 80 with broad bipartisan support. It noted in particular that the US administration's refusal to veto the controversial Security Council measure undermined Washington's decades-long position of opposing anti-Israel action at the United Nations. Incensed US lawmakers and President-elect Donald Trump have assailed Barack Obama's outgoing administration for abstaining in the December 23rd vote instead of vetoing the UN resolution, essentially clearing the way for its passage. Some congressional Democrats insisted the Capitol Hill vote had more to do with taking a final jab at Obama than condemning his administration's lack of action. A magnitude 5.1 earthquake struck a village deep in southern Iran today, killing 4 people and injuring 4 others. The report said the quake struck in the morning hours in the village of Saifabad, near the town of Khonj, about 1,000 kilometers south of the capital Tehran. According to the local news report, the 4 fatalities were Afghan nationals who worked on local farms. It said one of the injured was also an Afghan laborer. Myanmar produces more than 80% of the world's rubies, yet decades of isolation under the former military junta means the industry remains cloaked in mystery. Now the focus on it is sharpening after the US lifted sanctions barring imports of the gems in recognition of the country's shift towards democracy. Here is a report.
Every week, Eamon Tun prays he will find the ruby that changes his life. The teenager works as a miner in Magok, a valley in central Myanmar dubbed the Land of Rubies. Last year, one stone found here sold for a record $13 million. Over 80% of the world's supplies of the gems come from Myanmar, and prices are expected to surge after the US lifted a ban on imports in October.
I hope to get a big, high-quality gemstone. Then I can have the cash to start my own business.
But experts say few of the profits will filter through to workers in the sector, which is still dominated by the army. Ex-military men control the industry regulator, and resources watchdog the NRGI says a major army holding company decides who can access mines. Many private mines are thought to be owned by foreigners who smuggle the best gems to Hong Kong and Bangkok to be made into jewellery.
Red and blue stones mostly went to the black market in Thailand.
Locals hope the end of US sanctions and a jump in American tourists will mean more money in their pockets. Already US dealers have been scouting out Magok's mines and holding talks with the ruby industry.
Gemstones prices will rise. We estimate a 50% increase, definitely at least a third.
But activists say US companies must ensure mines meet international rules on labour conditions, respect for the environment and tracing profits. Otherwise, Myanmar's famous rubies may lose their shine.
And now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over most of the governorates, with chances of low clouds and fog early morning and late at night over the governorates of Worcester, Thahra and Musandam. Winds will be east to south easterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Royal Opera House Muscat stages its first exclusive production under the title Oman Celebrations, The Great Journey. And Russia orders its aircraft carrier to leave the conflict zone in Syria. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.